Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Front Nine coverage of Round 1 of the 2021 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Guaranteed Rate. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nate Perkins. Nate, the season is finally coming to a close, the final elite event of the season, and what an event we have to spectate.
Brian, it's been a great year.
Oh, yeah.
The Tour Championship is the biggest disc golf tournament ever in terms of money. $250,000 purse, 30 grand to first place.
We've been waiting for this for years. We've been waiting for the moment to have the outside money, and now we have an event where all the best players in the U.S. are tempted to come out here and test their luck on the Hornet's Nest course.
And we were taking a look at the points because points are going to matter big time. And why they matter is because points determine the winner in the instance of a tie. So if you are the 32nd seed, you cannot tie for fourth place. You have to get fourth place or better to move up. But if you're the 18th seed, such as Germ, you can tie for fourth place.
Together for Mr. Thomas Gilbert.
And yeah, here's Thomas Gilbert stepping up to hole 1. Just a brutal par 3, 390-foot tunnel, little flip up. There's not a lot of room for left to right movement. It's going to be a real battle out here. A couple nice changes have been made to this course, and yeah, top 4 scores move on.
Top 4. We have 16 people playing, and only 4 players are going to advance. And this course is hard, Brian.
It's hard, and Thomas has just laced this very difficult first hole, and he does have a putt.
2:34 p.m. tee time, hailing from Argyle, Texas. Please welcome Mr. Emerson Keith.
Yeah, this first hole kind of sets the theme here. You really have to hit a gap early and get a disc to fly straight.
It's kind of the name of the game out here at Hornet's Nest. So many early gaps that you have to hit with power. I think it sets up for pro disc golf so well. Oh, that's early. And on this hole especially, the rough
Our third competitor at our 2:34
is so
p.m.
tough to
tee
get out of.
time, from Davenport, Iowa. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ben Callaway.
What a season Ben's had.
Breakout year.
Absolutely
For sure.
his breakout year. Been with Discraft for 10 years. Won the U.S. Amateur Championships in 2011.
I actually did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And just now, first year on tour. And look at this. Yeah, I think that's how the hole was designed. Little hyzer flip to flat.
Rounding out our 2:34 p.m. tee time, from Austin, Texas. Please welcome Mr. Bradley Williams.
We have just a technical card today. And Bradley, Ben, Thomas, Emerson, just great throwers of the disc and all people that can shred this course.
T-Bird here for Bradley.
Playing that right side, just clips one of the many mature trees out here at Hornet's Nest. And like I said, kicking off left is tough. There's so many tight gaps you have to choose and hit.
And we've got a note. If you qualified for the Tour Championship, you made $2,000. And for most people playing on Thursday, that's the biggest payout that they're going to see all year long, regardless if they advance.
Yeah, it used to be that 2,000 was what you'd get for winning a national tour event. It's wild. And people have been saying it for years and years.
Oh, he almost puts it in for his par. Wow, what a bid.
But I mean, funny enough, just from that camera angle, we look at the Johnsonville logo on the side of the koozie now. It's just, it's almost surreal. Oh, and these players are out here for blood today. We've been at Hornet's Nest for a couple years now. This is the third year, I believe, we've played here, and we're starting to know the numbers that you need to shoot.
And we've seen in years past that you really have to get out of the gate hot.
Yes.
You really have to score on this front nine because it just doesn't get any easier as the course goes on.
Yeah. And you say the front nine is the one to score on. We move into number 2, and I will make a note here. You know, this is not the hole 2 that we are used to seeing. You know, hole 2 previously, you know, and we'll flash back to 2020, Jordan Castro on the original tee pad. This was just a scenic ace run over the water. 330, a lot of players would get a putter out there. Jordan parking it. This is the result a lot of players were getting. You know, here's Greg Barsby from the same card.
Oh, I love this. We're looking at a previous year. I don't know that I've ever seen that on coverage before. I love it, Gatekeeper.
And we're going to show you now the new tee pad, Nate. Walk us through this.
Okay, so everything that we're flying over now is out of bounds. You have to hit that gap. And like you said, you've got to hit it with power, Brian. You've got to clear the water. This is playing as an island, and the rope actually comes off the wall. And it's only about 40 feet long, and you find that OB as well. So if you don't make the island, you proceed to the FPO tee pad, which is just in front of last year's tee pad.
And Thomas has hit the gap well. This needs to sit down, and he is inside circle 1. Beautiful drive from Thomas. And I kind of love this element of course design, starting from out of bounds, having to hit a gap. Hole 8 at Lake Eureka is another one of those holes. It's daunting.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing that a little bit more just because of the fact of how good the field is getting. And look at Ben just flip that one up.
Come
Brian
on.
Loves it.
That's
what do we
one of
got
my
here, Brian?
favorite shots in disc golf. And what I love about Ben is, you know, the moment he starts to extend, you know exactly what line he's throwing. Ben's upper body tells no lies. It is some of the cleanest throws that I've ever seen. I put him on the same level as Drew Gibson in regards to shot shaping and how simple the upper body is. You can watch that over and over again if you want to learn about shot shaping. And another person who, you know, you grew up alongside of this player.
I sure did. There are quite a few players that wouldn't be the same without teachings of Bradley Williams.
Yeah, he's taught hundreds and hundreds of players out in Texas, and he practices what he preaches. Another part job on this hole.
We should plant a tree for that one because it is easy to go long. The pine straw, there's not a lot of friction. When the disc is spinning on the straw, it just likes to continue skating down that hill.
So a nice soft landing is what's needed here. Emerson, who usually likes to club up to a Explorer, is now clubbing down to a mid-range because you need that soft landing. That's got to check up quick, Nate.
Oh, we got to plant a tree for that one as well.
4 shots making the green here. Thomas with the longest, still, I believe, on the edge of circle 1. That's going to be Thomas's first birdie of the round. I love this change. I mean, I do. Again, I've said it many times on coverage. I love the one ace run hole in the course for some highlights, but this is still that hole, but it adds that pressure that separates the top pros from the ones trying to make it.
Just a perfect day for disc golf here in Charlotte. 85 degrees, 40% humidity, just really comfortable day, almost no wind.
Yeah, and look at that spread on hole number 2.
You think you know Rose Namajunas? Rose lost her first title fight. Flat out lost. But right then and there, she made a decision to stop just fighting and start believing she would become a champion. And look who's #1 now. Guaranteed Rate is a mortgage lender that helps people rise every day. Rise from where they live now to the home of their dreams. Because when you decide to believe, you will.
And hole number 3, 674-foot par 4. It lends to the righty flex sidearm or just a straight hyzer flip backhand to the elbow, and then you have to bend around the corner up the hill to this basket. This is a great change. The change was made last year, and I love that they kept it.
Really demanding tee shot. If you don't have that drifting forehand shot, like you said, you really have to throw super straight.
And Thomas rolling his wrist a little bit, but gets such a fortunate break there. He's actually pretty far down the fairway.
Yeah, he's going to have enough to have an angle.
And Ben has been working a lot on his sidearm. He's going to be just chopping this one slightly. And that's going to be a play for 4 from there. And all of these players are just opting for the distance. They want to get that bend around the corner to make the second shot a bit easier. And a third shot just getting rolled over a bit too much. Like you said, I think this is more of a drifting sidearm, almost like a Jeremy Colling type sidearm.
That's exactly the player I think of when I see this line.
Emerson's actually not bad at the line himself, but that's inside, and that's almost worse than being in the left.
Yeah, it kind of baits you into trying to go over all the rough right there. This is not a great position either. It's just trying to get back to that landing zone.
And he still might be tight on the
Yeah.
right side. Nice and balanced patent pending stance from Ben. Gets himself to a decent spot, and Emerson is in the weeds. And Thomas has gotten pretty far down the fairway with his shot, and he got all the way up there with his sidearm.
Wow. What a shot.
I was not
from
expecting it to
Thomas.
get that far up the fairway.
I wasn't either.
And Bradley's thrown a nice Anheuser backhand just outside circle 1. Oh boy.
That was somewhat of a routine line he had right there. Just release that Explorer a little early.
Ben having to go with another steep Anheuser. This is panning out nicely. And he's going to have a tester. And hole number 3 is sinking its teeth into this card. Ben for his par. Oh, yeah. And that is what you need out here. You need to be saving par. You're not going to always be in a comfortable position on this course.
And we've got to remember that the scores reset after each day. So these players are, while it is stroke play, in a sense, they're kind of looking at the scores going, okay, the bar is set at, let's say, a 5 under par. I just need to get to 5 and I'm good.
You are playing against the field a lot more than you normally would in a
Yep.
4-round stroke play tournament.
All right, hole 4, one of the new tee pads here, playing straight toward an out-of-bounds road. You're trying to hyzer and get inside these cedar trees. Anything up against the fence will give you that better angle. They've moved the basket slightly up the hill. It's elevated, and the green is actually opened up a little bit more this year. There is OB long, right, and left down that slope.
This is an iconic hole, Nate. This is where Paul Macbeth won his first world title in 2012 on the old pin position from the old tee pad. I get, honestly, goosebumps every time any drone flies through this fairway.
That's pretty awesome.
And Thomas actually has put himself on the other side of the trees. You see the OB line there. It's actually a pretty straight look at the basket from there.
Yeah, from there, he's going to have to make a decision if he wants to go out and over that OB the whole way.
Nice smooth hyzer with that force. And what do you think about that lie? Little pinched on the fence.
He made the corner. As long as you make the corner, you can take your meter off that fence, and I think he's going to have a good angle. It's when you don't make that corner that fence really becomes a problem.
Oh, and Brad was looking for just a hair more hyzer, and he has made it safe. But like you said from Thomas, Brad is going to have a technical second shot down that path on the right side.
Yeah, if he wants the birdie, he can try and go out over the OB. If he wants to play for par, he can still go out wide over the original fairway.
And that is another beautiful line. Is it going too deep, though?
Get back in.
Oh, and it's gone too deep.
Yeah. Saw quite a few players find that OB long during practice throughout the week. It just comes at you so quick. It's only like 380 to the OB line. And Bradley is getting aggressive here.
Oh, and look at that late turn. That is
It's pretty shot. I think he's throwing a Mako for that one.
I would have to believe. I would love to see if Statmando, when they were doing all of the radar gunning, tracked what Bradley was throwing. Because I would have to believe he's one of the slower throwers on the tour. He relies on angle and spin much more than some of the other players. It's really cool to watch his flights.
Oh, and Ben is actually in a premium position. Has a great angle for a forehand.
No. Okay. He is safe.
Yeah, that tree drops you right outside the circle.
Thomas going with a nice floaty sidearm. And the tree has actually been good to him.
I don't know if that hurt him. Yeah, I think
No.
that might have helped him overall. Oh, yeah, he's on the wood chips.
High right. That had some pace.
Yeah. And that really didn't have a ton of pace, and it still leaked out.
Ben, a cool 1 under par. Just a couple of tiny mistakes.
What a start from T. Gilbert. 3 under through 4.
And in years past, even if he pars out, that's still not a bad score. Okay, hole number 5. We have made this a par 3, 405 feet. Pretty much putting you in the back of the landing zone from the par 4 placement. So giving you the tough shot, sloping right to left. The backhand has to really match the slope if you want to stick it. OB water behind and right, and then OB road on the left. And Thomas is going roller.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players attempting this one throughout the week. The danger here is just pushing it too straight, and Thomas has done exactly that. That's the OB line right there. He's going to actually be taking that where his disc initially crossed over the road. Circle 2, look for his par.
And this is a beautiful looking sidearm from Ben. Full flex.
All right, Ben. Wow.
Add a new trick to the book.
Absolutely. Very smooth.
Wow.
And let's see if Bradley can make the adjustment after that overturned forehand back on hole 3.
This looks better. Just still needed just a bit more height.
And this is a shot shape that Emerson is very comfortable with, throwing the Ballista Pro here.
Thrown that low. If it gets to... Yeah, if it got to Heiser, it might have gotten the forward flare, but he's going to be stuck at about 100 feet. And gave it a decent run. Tap in par. And that's going to be a blemish. Little bogey for Thomas. And Ben for just a beautiful birdie after that sidearm. He is 2 under par. And how about some of these late stories popping up? Aaron Gossage flying in night before after flying all the way home to Grand Junction. Eagle having a freak injury. Just a wild turn of events. So exciting for Aaron, and so excited for him to come out here and play this course.
Yeah, and you know, he might not be making that decision if it wasn't for this payout.
Exactly.
You know, it's an easy decision for him to hop on a plane for a chance at $30,000. Here we are, hole 6, 480 feet, kind of low ceiling, at least for this long of a shot. You really have to test that ceiling if you want to park it, if you don't want to try and skip one off the road.
This is a great golf shot distance for pro disc golf. I love the different decisions and discs that players are throwing at this distance. Ben's going to go nuke on kind of a lower line. Oh, and he got a tiny, tiny road skip. Famously in the 2012 World's Final Nine.
I was just about to say Schusterick out wide. Oh my God. It
burns
disappeared.
the drive over. I believe it was when everybody was messing around with the Blizzard plastic at the time.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was what he was throwing, but burned one over on the road, and it took 3 or 4 different skips before flying back in bounds. This whole course just has so much history to it.
It's a pretty special place to play disc golf, honestly. It's one of my favorite courses to play.
Charlotte, in general, is just a phenomenal disc golf city.
Got quite a few disc golfers moving here. No, Paul Ulibarri moved here. Kev Jones just signed on a house here.
Yeah, Germ's got a house here, and he's clearly staying here. 40, 50 plus 18-hole disc golf courses in the woods. Charlotte takes such beautiful care of their courses.
And you have the major in the USDGC, just 30 miles south of here. And then the Tour Championship. I don't know how long it plans to be here, but it's been pretty successful here so far.
It's a special place. And Brad, after going a little bit short, runs and sticks it on top of the basket. Drop in par.
Anytime you see that, you always just hope that somehow it can defy physics and fall barely over
the basket.
I've yet to see it ever in the years I've been playing. But have you? Have you seen it hit the top?
I have.
And go, you've seen it hit the top and go in? Okay.
On older baskets.
Okay. I just want to see it one day before.
Come play with me, Nate.
Yeah.
And Thomas, a little bit too far in the woods. Ben with kind of the best look at it. Top of the hill, 45 feet. No way. Great putt.
And while we're at it, I want you guys to tell me what the wildest make on a basket you've ever seen is. If that's possible to leave in a comment,
Yeah, have you
just
missed?
Write us a paragraph each of your story.
Have you missed and the headwind blew it back in from the backside? And probably not the craziest make, but Ben.
That was a clean putt. I'm sorry for talking over that
putt.
one, Ben. That was beautiful.
Well, he moves to 3 under par, and that he now overtakes Thomas as leading the card. And in this format, beating your card is usually what you shoot for. Now with UDisc and whatnot, you can see what the rest of the field is doing.
Yeah, this is basically the chase card. So the first card that went out teed an hour before this card. So they have a heads up on where that first card is and what the mark is going to be.
Excellence to me is about constant self-analysis. Which habits are helping me towards my goals and which ones aren't. It's the same with nutrition. The foods I eat should help make my mind and my body the best they can be. Thunderbird makes that simple.
Hole number 7, 641-foot par 4. Low ceiling drive, so many options. You can go roller, you can go flip turn to the right gap, you can go sidearm down the left gap. Either way, you have to blast one down here, or the second shot into this guarded green is going to be tough. That is the FPO basket. We're moving just past that to these red wood chips. And another just great shorter par 4.
I love this hole. And one thing that they did this year is they rented out the whole park. So this is a public park, and typically there's some issues with cars driving up and down that road, having to stop, distractions for the players. No cars this year.
Ben's goes a little bit short. And Brad is getting just a nice late drift. Hopefully he's in front of those trees. See Kyle Klein in the background. What a season he's had so far.
He almost won the U.S. What a performance.
And
that was a wild finish.
He's just out here taking notes.
Yeah, I believe he's caddying for Thomas during this round. And that it got held up in its flight, but that's a good spot. He has options from there.
Definitely. Thomas going distance driver.
What is he lining up here, Brian?
I think he's just looking to go big smash. And he even put a little bit of height on it. Look at this thing. Yeah. Yep.
I understand now, Thomas.
Let's take a look at Thomas's throw. There's something special about Thomas's throw. When it comes out of his hand, you could probably attest to this. It's silent. There's no snap. There's no fingers hitting the palm.
Yeah.
His throw, Disc and the back foot are tied together. Balance and timing are all there, but there's just something with the way he throws the disc. It's quieter than any other player, and I think it's so cool.
Very clean. It has to be good, right? The less noise, just the less.
Well, yeah.
Like there's not a ton of, it's all connecting
exactly
at the same time.
Well, and it's also, the snapping sound is not actually your wrist snapping. It's your fingers still trying to hold on to the disc. As we see Brad throw a beautiful roller parked there for birdie. It's like snapping your fingers. So I think Thomas is actually letting go of the disc when he's throwing. It's just a perfectly clean release. Emerson going with a forehand, getting a nice flare up there. And a little bit closer than Brad's roller. Ooh, a little bit early. He'll have something from there, about 50 feet. Okay. No harm done. He's going to drop in a par. This is for birdie here. It's been all over the metal.
Things start to get a little tighter after this hole.
Yeah, this course kind of comes in two sections, before the road cross, after the road cross, and here we are crossing the road.
Yeah, 534. So another short par 4, but a very precise landing zone. You want to land right here where this mulch starts, and then it's a pretty straightforward shot from there. You can get creative. We see a lot of flex forehands into the green, but it's very easy to go too straight or pinch yourself off by hyzering too early.
And Brad has gone very straight. He is kind of pinched off on that left side.
That's a little short. You need another 40 feet for the ideal landing zone. That was a fortunate little reaction right there. Gives him a chance at least. Anything early left, and there's just...
auto pitch out.
Yeah, there's so many trees in the way.
And Ben's going to try to get into the woods. He's throwing a Raptor here.
Okay.
So he's going to try to get a skip on this shot. And did he get it? No, he is too deep.
And just look at that wall right there. I mean, you can get up and down, but it takes a special scramble shot.
Yeah, you see Thomas going with a slower disc here. Yeah, I was out on the course, and I played kind of a note-taking practice round to just be able to give a good opinion on this hole. And I was seeing that the best spot to throw in can be achieved from a putter throw.
Yeah.
A straight putter throw, but players are tempted to push into this gap.
Yeah, and the closer that you try to get, the further you try to get left, the more precise you have to be.
Exactly.
Because you can be further right and not be in the exact spot.
Yeah.
Because it still allows you to have those angles.
Yeah, I mean, look, Emerson's not in a bad spot at all. Like, this is a pretty routine line for him. And there he is. He's putting for birdie.
Thomas is going to have to try and split this early gap right in front of him.
Is he going to try? Oh, and he does.
And he needs that to sit down now.
What a shot!
What a shot. Thomas Gilbert.
That had to have been a 2-foot gap.
Yeah,
Maybe smaller.
That was a tight one that he had right in front of him. So Ben going to this awkward stance here.
Oh, I think he still is going to go for the green. Oh, hold it.
He almost had it.
That was a bold look.
Yeah.
Okay. Another par for Ben. And now we have some birdie looks. Solid birdie there for Emerson. He moves to 1 under par. And you just really never know on this course, you know, is 3 under going to be making it? Is a 7 going to have to take it?
Yeah, I mean, with 16 dominant disc golfers and
You
only
have
4
no
advancing, yeah, I mean, 10 people could shoot 5 or
Yeah.
better.
Mhm.
And it wouldn't be that surprising.
If I need to get up and down in a pressure situation, I'm grabbing the AVR X3 every time. When you can connect the visualization of the shot that you're trying to throw with the feel of the disc in your hand, that's really when magic happens. I can trust throwing the disc as hard as I want or as soft as I want to do exactly what it's supposed to do. Like the AVR is the best putter of all time, the AVR X3 just might be the best approach disc of all time.
Hole 9, another really tight gap right off the tee, and it's 430 feet. You really have to get this one to flip up and fly straight.
I love this hole, Nate.
This gap is
Oh, it's
5 feet across. It's daunting.
it's so satisfying to hit this with power. If you have the sidearm, it's a great option. If you can get the turn on it, that's the tough shape here.
Oh, he was so close to getting that to
Yeah.
just drift at the top of its flight.
Okay, Thomas trying to hit this with a backhand. He's got to get this to flip up. This looks like FX2 for him. Oh no. And when you look at the shape, you see that the basket is offset to the left just a tiny bit. If you're going with that backhand, it needs to be one of those hyzers that fades left early and then loses all of its fade at the end. Very tough shape. Drew Gibson's one of the players that I think is best at that shot. And Brad also trying to get that forehand off. Again, he's going to have a pretty easy up and down for the 3 at least. And I'm interested to see what Ben does here. Okay. Ooh,
Mid-range?
that almost looks like a Luna. That looks deep. Ah, and we'll never know.
This is not a good spot.
Terrible spot. And he's doing all he can right now. And still doesn't look like he is in a good position. This might be a bogey.
Good kick. Kicked right.
Yeah, way far back. Okay.
Wow.
just off the top band again. How many times are we going to see that this round?
I really love the exaggerated rock that Emerson has. Just really rocking back and forth with his lower body.
Long look for Brad. It's also going to be a 3 for him.
Three plays on hole 9. This is really tough get.
And it's interesting that we see the 2 players going forehand off the tee are getting away with a 3.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a little bit more than you would if there wasn't a 5-foot gap.
Exactly.
It kind of, the forehand for some players ensures that they're at least going to get through the early gap and at least ensure themselves a par.
And as Brad taps out, our front 9 is concluding, and we move into a very tough stretch of holes out here at Hornet's Nest. These scores are not common for tour golf. 2 under being the best on the card, and it's really not terrible. They have some work to do. Nathan Queen, 5 under. He's the man to catch.
Things are going to get really interesting on the back with those scores that we see there on the front, and you know they're going to have to be checking U-disc and deciding whether or not they have to go for a putt or not. It's a pretty exciting format.
The championship is underway, and thank you again for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will catch you for the back 9.